Hey, this is the fourth time I've tried to post this video, so let's hope that this one works. I'm doing this one on my phone. And I am doing a video today, hopefully a quick video, on something that's been coming up a bit for me lately with friends and with clients, and I just wanted to kind of touch on it a little bit. So what's been coming up is that a lot of us women, and this is a video for women, I mean, men, you're totally welcome to watch it, and I'm sure you'll get some juice out of it, but women, if you are coming to heads with your partner, or if you don't have a partner and you're looking and you're wondering why you keep attracting the wrong man, then this is what this video is going to. This is who I'm targeting with this video, basically. This is going to help you. So what I want to say is, a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, I posted on Facebook to say, what is it that you just simply won't accept from a partner? Please say hi as you're joining in. Hey Nadine, beautiful. I love that you always say hi. What is it that you won't accept from a partner in a relationship, or you won't even you won't even accept to maybe date somebody, a woman or a man, if they have these traits? And there was so much input, and that's great. But I noticed that some people, and this comes up a lot, I noticed that some people have checklists, and it's like, I have a whole list of things that I don't accept in a man or in a woman when I date them. And sorry, my computer's beeping. And so I wanted to address that a little bit, because I totally used to have a checklist, and I'm sure somewhere in there I still have a little bit of a checklist, but it's nowhere near what it was. And the checklist is no good. The checklist is demagnetizing your perfect partner. Okay. So if you have a checklist, we need to check in around that, basically. What do I want to say? I want to say challenge your checklist. What does your checklist say? Because for some of us, the checklist says, oh, like, you know, when you're out clubbing, or, you know, out trying to meet men, or, you know, at a party or something, and, you know, you see a cute guy and you say, oh, no, he's too young. Or, no, I don't date men that are older than me, you know, too much older than me. Or maybe something simple as, he's wearing a flannel shirt. I've heard, like, that's definitely one. Or, I don't date guys who wear skinny jeans. Or, he doesn't really look like he makes very much money. Or, like, there's so many. You know, I don't date guys that drink cocktails. I only date guys that drink beer. Like, whatever. So I wanted to address that a little bit, because the checklist is ruining your magnetism. If you're going around through life looking for this perfect man, let me tell you, A, he exists. B, you're pushing him away, because the perfect man doesn't go for a woman like that. Your perfect man doesn't go for someone who has the checklist. The checklist is not a thing. Hey, Joel. You know, another one is, for me, for years, my ex-husband was 6'7", and for a long time after we separated, I was like, I just wasn't comfortable dating men who were shorter than me, and I felt really like a giant. I mean, I'm really tall, and I had a real hang-up about it, but I had to work through that. And I did, and this is getting to what we need to do about the checklist, I did the self-work. And I did the work around, okay, hang on a minute. So I'm only going to, like, the perfect man for me is going to only be taller. Like, what does that even have to do with anything? I understand there's you know, some women are not attracted to a man who's shorter than them, or taller than them, or skinnier than them, or, you know, less muscly than them, or whatever. But why? And what I believe is that we have all these stories in our head about that we've been fed through social influences, through our parents, through our friends. If our friends are corporate and they're only dating corporate guys, of course you're going to feel influenced to date a corporate guy. You're not going to be likely to go and date a tradie or, so there's all of these influences that are coming at us. So I would really encourage you to challenge those. And why do I believe that I need to have a man who's making more money than me? Why do I believe I need to have a man who is living in a certain suburb? Why do I, all of these things, challenge that. Where does that come from? Where do all like these little creepy beliefs come from? Because if you were to, if you were to know, if we all walked around naked and we didn't know where the other person worked or lived or anything like that, and there was no alcohol involved and we were all just sort of like being, open-hearted beings, then the man of your dreams would be very easy to find, I'm sure. But we have all these pretenses and it's just bullshit. It's total BS. So I encourage you to challenge those pretenses. The other thing is, ladies, if you are looking for a successful man or let's say a man who likes to talk about his feelings or a man who's open-minded or a man who is, and I'm saying man, but I mean woman as well. Like if you're dating women, this is totally for you, like a woman dating a woman, for sure. I don't know why I always just say man. I have just like this habit, I guess. So if you are, okay, now I've lost my train of thought. but basically, what I want to say is that, so you're looking for this, you want your man to be like open-minded and you want him to be, to have all of these things. Do you have all these things? So this is where it starts. This is like where the work starts on yourself, ladies. So even if you're already in a relationship and you're like, fuck, it cheeses me when he is lazy and sits on the couch. Okay, A, is he exhausted? Does he work his balls off, through the day and need some time out? Because that's a real thing. Or B, do you hate it when you're lazy? So there's the crux of it. Like, and that was a big thing for me. If my partner would be kind of just sitting around on the couch all day, I'd be like, gee, what I would used to, like at one stage, I thought that's really lazy. That's not something I like in a partner. And so, but mainly because I was fed that information that anyone who's sitting on the couch is, bludging. And also I never relaxed. I wasn't comfortable to relax. So if anyone else was relaxing, I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, are you going to help me? What's going on? If you want a man who makes $1 million a year, are you making $1 million a year? Are you doing that? Because here's the thing. We are dating, or we are attracting, should I say? We attract ourselves. Does that make sense? No. We attract someone with the same stuff to work through that we have to work through. So if you're finding that you're always attracting men that are really shut down, have a look at yourself. Are you shut down? How open-hearted are you? Have you done the work? I would say I used to attract a man who was I've been through all different stages of attracting different kinds of men, because I've been through all different stages of working on different things in myself. So it's really interesting. I'd say I have gone through stages of attracting really like feminine men, because I wasn't comfortable being feminine. So I had to work through that to be comfortable with men who are feminine. So that's like, so you're attracting what you need, what you have to work through kind of thing. I've been through stages of attracting men who were like very aesthetically pleasing, but very shut down inside because they kind of were lost, or so they would build up the outside to try and hide the inside. And that's okay. Like, that's a coping mechanism. But I would attract that kind of man because I was doing the same kind of thing. And I would say if you're wanting to attract a certain quality in a man, then be that quality and do the work around those things. If you're in a relationship and you're like, let's see, in a relationship and you're like, things keep coming up around, hey, Kathy, things keep coming up around, he's not telling me everything. Are you being really open and telling him everything? Like, we attract what we have to work through. And that's what happens in our relationships. So if you keep attracting a certain kind of partner, that's because you haven't worked through that yet. I mean, unless they're like perfect and amazing and wonderful for you. You look lovely. Oh, Carl, I love you. So, all right, what else? And see every man or woman that you might like have in front of you as a human fucking being. We're all human beings, Yeah, I've definitely done it where I'm like, I don't want to talk to him because he looks like he doesn't make very much money. Or what's the point of talking to that guy? He is 25 and I'm 37, or 22 maybe. But you look at everybody as a human being. Look at all of these beautiful humans in front of you and let down all of your pretenses. Open your heart and see them as human beings. They're not just like fuckable people. They're not just people to support you. They're not just like, whatever it is that you're, whatever it is that you think you have to have in a man or a woman, they're human beings, and we all have such beautiful qualities to us if you just allow that person to be seen in front of you. Hold their gaze, listen to them, open your heart to them, soften to them. Ladies, I will tell you that the most magnetic thing that any man ever says, whether it's a client or the thing that magnetizes him the most, or whether it's I'm out on the town and men come up to me and say things, is you are radiant, you are beautiful, and you take the time to talk to me, even if you don't even know me, and you're confident. These are the things that other human beings are drawn to. They're drawn to somebody who's done the work on themselves. They're drawn to somebody who is open and sitting here in Shravana, like listening to them, not needing to be like, oh no, actually that point of view is wrong. That point of view is wrong. I don't believe in that. I don't agree. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, here I am, I'm in front of you, and yeah, okay, you're not who I would normally pick for a partner, and maybe you won't be a partner. But maybe if you just let down all of your bullshit checklist items, you will see a human being in front of you that is like, oh my God, there's so much juice to this. And it's the same thing with your partner. If you're starting to get caught up in like, oh, he's pissing me off or she's pissing me off, those things are getting on my nerves, then I encourage you to simply sit down with your partner, look them in the eye, hold their gaze, maybe tell them something that you do love about them, like you actually do love about them, even if you're like, things are not okay, things are a bit rocky. Tell them something you love about them and hold their gaze, and soften, and just sit and hold their gaze. And you'll see this person. You'll see them and they will see you. Eye gazing is the most amazing. I mean, it sounds, a lot of people, we do it at a lot of workshops, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like it, it won't make that much difference. Oh my God. It's one of the most powerful things you can do with another human being. honestly, with your children, with your partner, because you have to hold presence and you have to be vulnerable. You know, you're seeing this person in their raw flesh. Like, you know, there's no stories, there's no talking, there's no laughing and uncomfortable, you know, like, oh, I'll just push it away, I'll giggle, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, and if you already have a partner and he's not shaping up, are you shaping up? She's not shaping up, whichever. Are you shaping up? Are you being there for you? Because actually, one of the biggest keys that I can give you for this video is to be in a relationship with yourself before you're in a relationship with your partner or any future partner. Be there for yourself. All of us have a man and a woman inside of us, and most of us have never even tapped into that. And that's a really powerful exercise to do, but I would not run you through that on a live Facebook video. But all of us have our own partner inside of ourselves. And so are you shaping up? Are you being there for yourself? Are you supporting yourself? Are you encouraging yourself? You know, you're like, oh, my partner doesn't tell me enough that I'm beautiful. Are you telling yourself that you're beautiful? Are you comfortable with where you're at? You know, my partner doesn't take me out to dinner very often. Do you take yourself out to dinner very often? Like, be there. Show up for yourself and watch your partner then step in and show up for you, because that is super attractive when a human being has themselves. When they have themselves, it's like, you don't even need me, but you're there for me and you love me. It's not like, oh, I don't need you, I'm taking myself out to dinner. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm comfortable being me and I want you to be you, and I'm going to go out to dinner and you can sit on the couch, or, you know, like, take care of your own needs. And then your partner will step up. And it's the same thing when you see a man, like, okay, I'm talking about men here, when you're in a man-woman relationship, but as a woman, women meet a man and they're like, oh, he's so sexy. He's like, you know, he's in his masculinity, or he's in his strength, and he's like got himself, because he's, I mean, most of the time single, if we're looking at him in that way. So that's really attractive. But what happens is you depolarize things when you get together, and you start saying to him, oh, I wanted to spend time with you. I don't want you going out with your friends on Friday night. Or you might be like, oh, you know, I want to cuddle you on the, I don't know, like, just changing the way that he was when you met him. And you notice over time that he's less attractive. He becomes less attractive because it's like, oh, he's kind of lost his, like, manliness. Of course he has. You've taken it away from him, essentially, because you keep, you know, I want this of you. I want you to do it this way. I want you to do it that way. So, and this is the other thing. When you meet somebody and you let them see you and you see them, you actually see who the fuck they are. You're not just like, oh, you know, he has these things and he has a sports car and he has a boat, or he has a, I don't know. I have no idea what any, you know, everyone wants different things in a man or woman. But I would say sitting with that person without all of the gadgets, without all of the extras, without having to be at dinner, without having to do all of that stuff, actually sitting in your raw, maybe naked self with this person, and being like, okay, like, getting to the root of who they are rather than with all of their little stuff that they have. We aren't what we have. We are just this soul inside a skin suit, I guess. What else? Lastly, if you have any questions, just ask. Everyone's probably just like, what? Yeah, do your self-work. If you want to attract, I know there's some men like listening in right now. Men, if you want to attract a confident, beautiful woman, be confident and beautiful. If you want to attract women, if you want to attract Oh, Jessie, thank you, darling. If you want to attract a successful kick-ass man, fucking be successful and kick-ass. I challenge you. Be the partner that you want and watch this amazing human, whoever it is, arrive for you. Arrive and, hey, Daniel. And okay, so, and then like